Have you ever had your wisdom teeth removed? After the procedure, you're often prescribed anti-inflammatory drugs and painkillers, which help you feel much better. But here's the question. How does that little pill know exactly where your pain is? How does the medicine know which tooth was removed or which part of your body needs attention? To understand this, we need to follow the journey of a pill as it enters your body and begins its healing process. When you swallow a pill, it enters your digestive system, and this is where the journey begins. Your stomach is the first stop for most medications. The acidic environment of the stomach starts breaking down the pill, especially if it doesn't have a protective coating. If the medication has a special coating, it might bypass the stomach and dissolve further down in the small intestine, where the absorption process becomes more efficient. The goal of this first phase is to dissolve the pill so that its active ingredients can enter the bloodstream. Once the pill dissolves, its molecules pass through the epithelial cells that line the digestive tract. These cells act like gatekeepers, allowing the medicine to enter the network of tiny blood vessels. It's important to note that different medications are designed to dissolve at different rates. Some release their ingredients quickly for immediate relief, while others, such as extended-release capsules, are designed to release the drug slowly over time. This ensures that you get the right amount of medication for a longer duration. Once the medication enters the bloodstream, the next critical phase is its journey through the liver. The liver is like a processing plant for everything that enters your body, including medications. It metabolizes a portion of the drug, breaking it down into smaller substances called metabolites. Some of these metabolites are inactive and are excreted by the body through urine, but others remain active and continue their journey to the site of pain or inflammation. This is an important step because not all of the medication will survive the liver's filtering process. It's why oral medications are often given in higher doses compared to intravenous drugs, which bypass the liver and go directly into the bloodstream. The liver's ability to metabolize drugs also varies from person to person, depending on factors like age, liver health, and genetic makeup. It's also why certain drugs can become toxic if the liver is overwhelmed or if a patient has a condition that affects how the liver functions. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Once the medication passes through the liver, it enters the systemic circulation, meaning it spreads throughout the entire body. The bloodstream acts like a highway, delivering the drug to various tissues and organs. However, the medication doesn't just go to the place that hurts, it goes everywhere. This widespread distribution is one reason why medications often have side effects. Even though they're meant to target one specific area, they inevitably affect other parts of the body as well. For example, a painkiller might reduce pain in your tooth, but it could also affect your stomach, kidneys, or even your brain. Researchers are constantly working to develop more targeted medications that minimize these side effects by concentrating on the area that needs treatment. In some cases, specific types of medications are designed to bind more effectively to certain tissues or receptors, but we're still far from perfecting this process. You might wonder why, if the liver breaks down so much of the medication, we don't just receive all treatments intravenously. Injecting drugs directly into the bloodstream ensures they bypass the digestive system and liver, giving the medication immediate access to the areas that need healing. This method is common for emergencies or for medications that would be destroyed by stomach acid. However, oral medications, like pills, capsules, or even creams, are often used for non-emergency situations where the body needs a slower, more controlled release of the drug. For instance, certain medications are designed to dissolve slowly in your system, providing a steady supply of the active ingredient over time. This can be particularly helpful for conditions that require long-term management, like chronic pain or high blood pressure. Additionally, oral medications are more convenient and less invasive, which is why they remain the most common form of treatment. There are even some medications that are designed not to be active right away. These are known as prodrugs, and they require the action of enzymes in the liver to convert them into their active form. This means that the medication you take might not work until it's metabolized and transformed into a compound your body can use. For example, some blood pressure medications or certain cancer treatments fall into this category, relying on the body's natural processes to activate them. Similarly, There are medications with delayed release coatings that dissolve at specific times, ensuring the medicine is distributed gradually. This type of controlled release is especially useful for treating chronic conditions, where a steady dose of the medication over several hours or even days can help manage symptoms more effectively. The goal here is to optimize the balance between effectiveness and minimizing side effects by controlling how and when the drug is released into your system. Now let's dive deeper into how medications know which part of your body to work on. It all comes down to receptors. Receptors are proteins found on the surface of your cells, and they act like locks. When a drug molecule with the right shape, the key, comes along, it binds to the receptor and triggers a response inside the cell. This response could be to block a pain signal, reduce inflammation, or stimulate the production of a necessary hormone. For example, painkillers like ibuprofen work by blocking enzymes in your body that produce prostaglandins, chemicals that cause inflammation and pain. By binding to these enzymes, ibuprofen essentially stops them from sending pain signals to your brain. The beauty of this process is that it happens at the molecular level, targeting the exact areas where the drug is needed. However, because the drug circulates throughout your body, it can also affect other tissues, which is why side effects like stomach irritation are common with ibuprofen. Molecules that bind to receptors and produce a response are known as agonists. These molecules can be naturally produced by your body, like endorphins, which relieve pain, or they can be artificial, like morphine, which mimics the action of endorphins by binding to the same opioid receptors in your brain. Agonists are essential for turning on the biological processes needed to treat various conditions. Antagonists are incredibly important in pharmacology. As mentioned earlier, they don't produce a response themselves, but they prevent other molecules from doing so. This is crucial in life-saving medications such as naloxone for opioid overdoses. Naloxone has a high affinity for opioid receptors, but doesn't activate them. Instead, it occupies the receptor space, preventing opioids from binding and activating the lock, which halts the dangerous effects of the overdose. Another example is medications used for conditions like high blood pressure. Some drugs, like beta blockers, act as antagonists on the heart's beta-adrenergic receptors. By blocking the effect of adrenaline, they prevent the heart from beating too fast or too forcefully, helping to lower blood pressure. These types of drugs are essential in managing cardiovascular diseases, but they can also have side effects because they might block adrenaline receptors in other parts of the body, leading to fatigue or dizziness. Each medication has its own unique mechanism of action, and understanding this is key to knowing how medicine works to heal you. Ibuprofen, for example, targets an enzyme called cyclooxygenase, COX, which is involved in the production of prostaglandins. These prostaglandins cause pain and inflammation when tissues are damaged. By blocking the COX enzyme, ibuprofen reduces the production of prostaglandins, which in turn reduces pain and swelling. Paracetamol, also known as acetaminophen, works differently. While it also blocks prostaglandins, its exact mechanism isn't fully understood. It's thought to work mainly in the brain, particularly in the hypothalamus, which controls body temperature. This is why paracetamol is commonly used to reduce fevers. However, because its action is less focused on inflammation, it's less effective than ibuprofen for treating swelling or inflammation. Still, both medications play important roles in pain management, depending on the type of pain and the underlying cause. Pharmacology is a complex field, and despite all the advances we've made, there's still so much we don't know about how medications work in every individual. For example, many drugs are discovered by accident, like Viagra, which was originally developed to treat heart conditions but became famous for its unexpected side effect of improving erectile dysfunction. What makes medicine even more complicated is the fact that every person is unique. Your genes, age, lifestyle, and other medications you're taking all influence how a drug works in your body. This is why some people experience side effects while others don't, and why certain drugs work better for some individuals. Thanks to advances in pharmacogenetics, we're starting to tailor medications to a person's genetic makeup, which will help us make treatments more effective and reduce unwanted side effects. Even though we have a long way to go, research is helping us get closer to understanding how medicine truly heals us. curious minds. Isn't it amazing how medicine works to heal us? The processes involved are far more intricate than we might have imagined. If you enjoyed learning about this topic, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more curious content like this. You can also support us by becoming a member or donating through the Super Thanks button. Your interaction helps us continue to bring more fascinating topics to you. Stay curious and see you in the next video.